Hi, this is Buzz. And welcome to the Urban Buzz channel. If this is your first time here, thanks for dropping by. If you find this tutorial useful, please subscribe and click on the notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. This will be a short, and hopefully, no-nonsense step-by-step tutorial of how to create an animated GIF in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so I know there's already a whole bunch of tutorials out there on this, but they all seem to lack some of the steps needed to complete the creation of an animated GIF. And leave you thinking, did I miss something? This might be your first GIF. Or if you haven't done this for a while, it might be a quick refresher to jog your memory. So let's get started. First, open Photoshop and create a new document. The size is really not that important, and we will define the output size when we export the GIF. But it's good to have your document larger than the images you want in your GIF. It's a good idea to have all the images that you want to combine into your GIF all ready to go. In this tutorial, I've already designed some artwork in Adobe Illustrator and exported them as PNG files and saved them into a folder. We will use these to make our animated GIF. These are nothing complicated, and you can use most types of file to create your GIF animation. In Photoshop, we need to go to Files, and then Scripts, and then load files into Stack. Browse for the files you want to include in your GIF. Here I am using the files that I've already created. Select all the files you want to use. Don't worry, you can add more files or images later if needed. There is an important step here, and that is to check the tick box that allows Photoshop to attempt to automatically align source images. This will give you a smoother transition when the GIF plays. Photoshop will now work its magic and import the files you have selected. In this process, the source images will be automatically aligned. This might take a little time to complete depending on the amount of images selected and their complexity. I have accelerated the video, but you could grab a coffee if yours take a little longer. Next, we need to change the Photoshop workspace to motion. To do this, go to the top toolbar in Photoshop, and then click on Window. Next, select Workspace and then Motion. We are using Photoshop 2022, but from memory it's the same in older versions. When it opens, the timeline will show at the bottom of your workspace. You will have two options for the motion workspace. They are Create Video Timeline and Create Frame Animation. We want to select Create Frame Animation. An important step here is to click on the box that says Create Frame Animation. When you do this, you will see your first image from the imported files. If you don't click on the Create Frame Animation box, no files will show in the timeline. Okay, so the next step is to click on the hamburger menu and select Make Frames from Layers. This will import your images that are in the layer stack onto the timeline. Don't worry if these are out of sequence, we can fix that in a while. Great news is that's the hard work done, and now the fun part begins. You can reorder the images in the timeline by just clicking on the thumbnail and dragging to the correct position. Once you are happy with the image sequence, you can click on the Start button in the timeline, which is a small arrow shape that points to the right to play your animation. By default, the time before it moves to the next image is very short and is set to 0 seconds. You can adjust the time of each frame individually, or you can select all the frames. Just make the change on one frame and it will change all the frames at once. This is useful if you have a lot of frames in your animation. Once you are happy with your sequence and timings, the next step is to export your GIF. To do this, go to File, then Export and click on Save for Web, Legacy. When the dialog box opens, you have a lot of options here, but as a starting point I use a preset, which is GIF 128 dithered. But feel free to change this to suit your project. Next, we need to pick the file type, and as we are making a GIF, we can select GIF. The next couple of choices are Selective and Diffusion. These are default and are fine for this tutorial, but feel free to experiment with these. Next step is to change the size of your GIF. This is the size your GIF will be saved at and will be a personal choice to suit your project. Here I have selected 1024 by 606 pixels. Finally, when you are happy with your settings, click on the Save button and select your file destination and rename your file and click on Save. Congratulations, your file is now ready to be played. To play your GIF, you need to navigate to the location you saved your file in, select your file and click on the GIF you have just created. As I am using a Mac, once the file is selected, you can just press the spacebar and the GIF will play. If you are using Windows, this can be opened in Media Player. Well, that is all there is to making a simple animated GIF. Hopefully you found this tutorial useful. If you did, please give a like, and click on the subscribe button and the notification bell for more tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and After Effects. And feel free to comment. Thank you.